Football, Reborn talent becomes the sport's third pole. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 16, scored? My god, I'm not dreaming, am I? It's so showy. You look at this Jin show, people are dazzled. This gorgeous upside-down golden hook completely captured my heart, and I can't stop it. Is this an Asian boy? How can he be more handsome than the Samba Legion? From my professional point of view, the frontal-lateral dribbling and upside-down golden hook just now are definitely Samba skills, but he's obviously Asian? Yes, so handsome, magical, soul-destroying, brilliant, indescribable. Are we wrong to blame Chen? Asian boy really plays football? Now slap in the face, right? Is your mouth still so hard just now? Tell you the best is yet to come. Facing the jaws dropped by the Londrina fans one by one, Alice stood up and taunted wildly. Sarana quickly pulled her to sit down. Alice, that's all, they're Londrina's fans after all. Humph, whoever let them mock my cousin like that before, they have to be angry with them, and the dog's eyes look down on people. Dissipate the gas. Sarana quickly comforted Alice. Curitiba's fangate is also helpless. I thought that this Asian boy was on the field to fill up, but I didn't expect to score. The point is that his skills are very gorgeous and soul-destroying, like dancing samba. It is simply magical. It's ridiculous that Asian boys can play samba better than their authentic Brazilian team. Come on Curitiba, Curitiba will win. Faced with a goal conceded, Curitiba's fans cheered wildly. Seeing this, Alice couldn't lose them in terms of momentum, so he stood up and waved the flag to cheer for Londrina, and the fans stood up and shouted wildly, wave after wave. Ding! Congratulations to the host for harvesting a sound wave value of 3,000. 3,000. My god, as soon as you enter the big penalty area, you will shoot. It's so cool. Chen Feng showed a satisfied smile. As soon as he scored a goal with an upside-down golden hook, his teammates ran over to hug him. However, Chen Feng looked calm. After all, the goal that just scored was because of Curitiba's laxity. Next, they will inevitably strengthen their defense, and it will naturally be much more difficult to break through. Chen Feng picked up the ball from the net, hugged and high-fived his teammates one by one, placed the ball on the T-point of the center circle. At the same time, Curitiba's players are not calm. Didn't Jonas say that this Asian boy is very dish? Was he hanging a hammer? Not to mention that he scored a goal. This gorgeous passing and passing skills are no longer ordinary players. Jonas, what the hell are you doing? Are you sure what you said is right? Mark Pelosi glared at Jonas with an angry expression. Jonas was paralyzed with fright, but still pretended to be calm. Yes, he just scored that goal, pure luck. Jonas, you have to remember that your words will affect the tactics of the entire team, and if you lie, you will be severely punished after the game. After Mark Pelosi put down the harsh words, he went to the head coach to discuss tactics. As the captain, Mark Pelosi believes that the Asian boy can no longer be taken lightly, and he must be closely watched. The manager agreed with him. The game continues. At this time, Curitiba fans kept shouting the name of top scorer Mark Pelosi, thinking of getting Mark Pelosi to score another and complete the hat-trick of the game. Curitiba tee off. As a result of conceding a goal, Curitiba's desire to attack was completely stimulated. Mark Pelosi organized attacks several times, forming a large iron barrel centered on Chen Feng's trident, and repeatedly repelled the opponent's attack. In a siege, Chen Feng suddenly shot out from the rear of Mark Pelosi, causing panic at the feet of the opponent. The veteran Walter saw the opportunity and decisively stepped down. The ball was successfully tackled in midfield. Immediately afterwards, Walter kicked straight and passed the ball to Chen Feng. Seeing this, the black man hurriedly stepped forward to prevent Chen Feng. His purpose was simple: use a strong body to force Chen Feng back, and break his ball when he has the opportunity. Once Chen Feng broke through, the black man had to interrupt Chen Feng's attack even if he fouled. After all, a 2-meter-tall and strong black man thinks he can easily handle Chen Feng. Suddenly, a GIF shadow appeared in Chen Feng's mind. It was the rainbow. In the next second, Chen Feng clamped the ball with both feet and jumped up. Throw the ball into the air from behind, fall in front of you, and pass the black man overhead. As soon as this skill was displayed, the entire stand instantly exploded. You know, this is only in the second league. This is the first time that fans of both teams have seen this gorgeous and soul-destroying game. Instantly, there was a discussion in the stands. What is this operation? How I've never seen it before. The performance tastes so strong. This Asian boy is so fancy. He's not playing in the second league, he's playing freestyle football, right? I'm an old fan. This kind of ball skill is like an advanced version of Samba's ball skills. Brilliant. It's so scary, my little heart can't stand it. This game is worth it. That Asian boy has completely captured my heart. I want to get all his information. That black man was completely stunned, and he was inexplicably passed. So pitiful. At the same time, Alice and Sarana in the stands looked straight. Sarana's heart was even more stunned, and she was completely conquered by Chen Feng, and she became a little fangirl in seconds. So handsome. Alice was a little unhappy after listening to it. When will my cousin let Xiaohei get the ball? I want to see Xiaohei score. Ah. Alice, don't worry, Chen is not a selfish person. The black man looked confused, relying on his height and strong body to play in the Beijia League for so many years. This was the first time someone had teased him in front of him. The most infuriating thing is that it is still an Asian boy who plays him? This is tolerated? Facing Chen Feng sprinting with the ball, the black man was furious and chased after him with a dash, shovel the ball from behind. Obviously, there is no angle of tackle, and this foot will inevitably tackle Chen Feng. At this moment, the audience was silent, and everyone sweated for Chen Feng. After all, they are all old fans, and they know how serious the consequences of the tackle behind them will be, ranging from fractures to paralysis. Alice and Sarana's beautiful eyes widened at the same time, and their hearts were raised to their throats. No, I saw that the right foot of the black man shoveled directly towards Chen Feng's calf. Between the electric light and flint, Chen Feng's overlord power instantly erupted, reversing the black man's hind feet with a powerful and unmatched force. The black man was like kicking on the copper wall and iron wall, and he was instantly shocked to the point that his whole body was numb. Click! An untimely click sounded, just when his teammates thought that Chen Feng had been kicked and fractured. He didn't expect that he didn't have anything, and kicked the ball into the net with a straight volley. The score is 2-2. Londrina equalized. At this time, the black man grinned in pain, holding his right leg and rolling on the ground. The referee blew the foul whistle. Chen Feng's speed was too fast, and before the referee's foul whistle blew, he shot directly. This ball naturally counts. The black man tackles people behind his back, which is a taboo in the game, but considering that he did not tackle people, the referee showed a yellow card after considering it. Episode 17. In an instant, the whole audience completely exploded. This is really unheard of, unseen. During the run, he was shoveled from behind, and he was unharmed. You must know that the shovel man was a 2-meter, strong black man. What's even more incredible is that the black man who shoveled the man actually held his foot in pain and was suspected of breaking a bone. If it had not been seen with his own eyes, no one present would have believed it. Curitiba's players were collectively dumbfounded, especially Captain Mark Pelosi. As a veteran of the second league, I have played for more than 10 years. And this is really the first time I have seen this situation. The black man was obviously forced to go out completely, and shoveled Chen Feng with one kick. Even if he is sent off with a red card, his teammates will most likely win the game. As a result, the black man fractured, but Chen Feng was unharmed. What the hell is this Asian boy? Completely unscientific? Curitiba's team doctors hurriedly carried the stretcher and ran over. After preliminary examination, it was concluded that the black man was seriously injured. The thigh is not a fracture, most likely the bone is shattered. Once the bones are shattered, the black man's football career may be completely over. What? Broken bones? Mark Pelosi's jaw dropped in shock. The rest of the teammates were also dumbfounded with wide pupils, and collectively dumbfounded. We also have a preliminary judgment, and we have to go to the infirmary to check with an instrument to draw a conclusion. After the team doctor finished speaking, he carried the black man out. Curitiba replaced a white man. Chen, well done, that person deserves it. Xiao He and Walter went up one after another to congratulate Chen Feng. Previously, Walter was also jealous of Chen Feng and tackled from behind, and the result was the same situation. However, at that time, Chen Feng considered that everyone was teammates, so naturally he couldn't be ruthless. In addition to his subordinates, Walter just broke a bone, and the problem was not big. Despite this, Walter still has palpitations. Now that Chen Feng once again used his counterattack technique, Walter was shocked beyond words. From then on, only Chen Feng took the lead. I really can't be blamed for this. He shoveled people from the back first, but I didn't do anything. Everyone in the stands can witness it. An evil smile appeared at the corner of Chen Feng's mouth. He also didn't expect that the counterattack of the overlord's body was so powerful. It was worthy of the body of the Chu overlord. Thinking about a past life, as the last dancer of Samba, as long as Nirma uses Samba skills, he can easily provoke his opponents, and he is often tackled, dragged, and stripped. It is attributed to Nirma's height of only 175 centimeters, and his body is not strong, so naturally it is the object of frequent bullying. Chen Feng is not Nirma, although winning or losing football matches is very important, but FIFA has never ruled that you can't show off your skills. If the opponent is not convinced, you can completely show me off. If you dare to hurt someone behind your back, then don't blame yourself for being ruthless. Of course, you have to thank the system for having such confidence. Seeing that the score came to 2-2, Chen Feng scored twice. Equalize the score on your own. Londrina's fans no longer dare to take the Asian boy lightly. In an instant, black turned pink, frantically shouting Chen Feng's name in the stands. It is highly hoped that he can make a hat trick and give Londrina a victory over the Devils' home side Curitiba. Chen Feng, hat trick, hat trick. Londrina's fans shouted furiously. Alice and Sarana, who were also in the stands, were first stunned, and then laughed. These people are also peerless. I didn't expect my cousin to be so powerful. He is a rising star in football. I don't know why my uncle tried his best to stop him from playing. Alice looked puzzled. Uncle probably doesn't know that Chen has this ability. If he is at the scene, he is estimated to be frightened. Sarana said with a smile. Yes, stunned, will definitely be stunned. Alice laughed. There are 15 minutes left in the game. Coritiba no longer dares to despise this Asian boy. Now that the game has been equalized, you have to go all out to win the game. After the opening, Coritiba put on a very strong strangling formation. At one point, Londrina's attack was extremely difficult. Their tactic was to use a strangling formation to stop Londrina's attack, and from the center circle onwards, Chen Feng could not be allowed to easily take the ball. Striker Mark Pelosi moved closer to winger Blackie and formed a pincer attack on Blackie with the wing back, prevent Xiaohei from linking with Chen Feng. As for the left winger, Walter is a veteran, relatively lacking the ability to initiate attacks on his own. That's the tactical crux of Coritiba. Walter looked very isolated after taking the ball. Coritiba's 3 central defenders went to pinch, but Walter was difficult to break through, so he had to choose a cross pass to Chen Feng. As a result, the ball was cut off by the opposing defender. Walter was so angry that he wanted to scold his mother. But the arena is like a battlefield, changing rapidly, and there is no room for anger. After the opposing defender took the ball, Coritiba quickly switched between attack and defense, and even the winger quickly ran towards the gate. Mark Pelosi once stepped in to meet the defender's brilliant pass, and the front of the goal was open. Without hesitation, Mark Pelosi chose to shoot straight at goal. It's a pity that this shot is more like a return pass, not to mention the lack of strength, and the angle does not have any highlights. The ball was saved directly by Londrina's goalkeeper. Chen Feng knocked the ball out of the box with his head with a big jump, and Xiaohei collected the ball to the soles of his feet. Chen Feng sprinted to the edge of the big penalty area again, jumping up and beckoning to Xiaohei. Knowing that his sound score has reached 5,000, a chance to shoot from the penalty area has not yet been used, but Coritiba obviously sensed Chen Feng's intentions. The 4 central defenders quickly converged towards Chen Feng, trying to form an encirclement and attack. Stop Xiaohei from passing the ball to Chen Feng. It's so abominable. Coritiba actually went 4 people to surround Chen Feng. What about this? Is Xiaohei passed on or not? The game is coming to an end. A draw is better than a loss. That's it. Alice and Sarana discussed excitedly. Blackie took a look at the location of his teammates, and to be honest, Walter's position was good. But the game is about to end. Even if he passes the ball to Walter, I'm afraid Walter won't have the ability to score. Gamble. Blackie picked up the ball with his left foot and kicked it quickly with his right foot. The football itself rotated at high speed and fell in the direction of Chen Feng in a perfect arc. Humph, you actually dare to pass the ball at 0 angle, it's just sending the ball. Mark Pelosi showed a mocking expression. Oh, this is a ball delivery. What is this doing? It's over, it's over. Great opportunity missed. The fans felt sorry. In their opinion, Xiaohei should not have passed the ball to Chen Feng at all. He should have passed it to Walter. Just when the fans sighed, Chen Feng jumped to catch the ball, and the 4 central defenders defending him jumped at the same time. Chen Feng can hardly touch the ball at any angle. After all, everyone is a professional player, and the difference in starting height will not be very big. But who knew that when the 4 central defenders jumped to the extreme height, Chen Feng was actually still rising. With the blessing of the Overlord's body, what is this height? Chen Feng smiled wickedly. His starting height was a full head higher than the other 4 central defenders. Chen Feng headed the ball and hit it into another gap where no one let go. The next scene made everyone stunned. Fantastic. I saw that when the football was not in midair, Chen Feng suddenly accelerated to throw off the defenders. Then he half turned around and squeezed his thighs hard. Aiming at the football is indeed a volley. Episode 18, head over and volley from 0 angles? What the heck? Everyone in the audience looked stupid. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have believed it was happening in reality. This guy is almost 0 angled near the bottom line of the big penalty area and has his back to the goal. Came a difficult and soul-destroying half-turn volley? Make a fuss. Even first-class players don't dare to play like this easily. You must know how low the shooting percentage is like this. But Chen Feng did just that. This is not a stadium, but a freestyle football demonstration field, right? Chen Feng is not a football player, but an acrobat. Alice and Sarana widened their beautiful eyes at the same time and held their breath. Bang! The ball was hit by this volley, and then it was like an off-string arrow, rushing towards the goal in a treacherous arc. The opposing goalkeeper is very dedicated, but unfortunately he was blocked by several of his own central defenders. I didn't see Chen Feng's movements clearly at all. When he realized that something was wrong, it was too late, and a black shadow that came galloping instantly rushed into the net nest. And the goalkeeper was still stupidly stunned in place. Ball in. The score was 3-2. Chen Feng's hat trick helped Londrina turn the game against the wind with his gorgeous and soul-destroying samba skills. At this moment, the audience was silent. The drop of needles can be heard. Elegant. It's so showy. Oh my God. Everyone present shouted in disbelief in their eyes. God is on top, what do I see? Unbelievable. It's against the sky. The questionable Asian boy has now proven himself thoroughly with his extraordinary samba skills. He's an Asian boy who knows samba better than Brazilians. It's so exciting, I can't stop it. I've never seen such a wonderful game. Yes, although there are wonderful moments in the past competitions, and even lore, they are simply tasteless compared to this. No, I solemnly announce that from today I am no longer a fan of Coritiba, I am a fan of Londrina. The fans in the stands went crazy, and more Coritiba fans turned against the water, stand with Londrina's fans, and shout wildly. They watched as the Asian boy picked up the ball near the bottom line of the penalty area and then half-turned and volleyed. Zero angle shot, even the goalkeeper did not react at all. I can only watch the ball burrow into the net. The whole process is done in one go, the clouds are streaming, so cool, that I can't believe my eyes. Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night. Chen Feng completely caused a sensation in the football scene of Bai. None of Chen Feng's teammates reacted yet, although they had already seen this kid's unique technique. But it was just a confrontation match. This is the Beijia League of the Beijia, against the strongest team in the Beijia. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng not only did not converge, but showed numbness. The teammates shouted that it was terrible. Chen Feng clenched his hands into fists and raised in the air, cheering himself and the team up. Then he ran wildly in the midfield, running and jumping high. Then he flipped continuously in the air with his strong waist and abdomen strength and earned enough eyeballs. Thundered. The stands of tens of thousands of people were completely boiling. Everyone stood up and applauded violently, and the cheers shook the entire stadium. Seeing this, Xiaohei and Walter looked at each other, immediately rushed towards him with his teammates. Xiaohei even rushed over and hugged the mocking neck. Chen, you are really a genius, blinding my eyes. The teammates hugged together, abandoning Chen Feng high and falling. Although it is a Brazilian second league, the attention in Brazil is not low, and the camera is broadcast live throughout the process. The game was perfectly documented. It is foreseeable that Chen Feng's wonderful moments will soon be edited and then sensationalized on the internet. Chen Feng. Cow beep. In the stands, Alice suddenly burst out a sentence in Chinese, which she learned from Chen Feng on weekdays. She was a little overexcited and kept dancing samba in the stands. At this moment, I can't wait to tell everyone present that Chen Feng is my brother. Oh, Alice, calm down, you can wear a skirt, be careful. Sarana on the side persuaded Alice. Sarana, what are you so reserved for? Your sweetheart wins the game, don't hurry over and give him a big hug. What are you doing here? The game is over, Alice frantically prodded, making Sarana's face red with shame. It's just a pity that your little black didn't score, otherwise. The more Sarana spoke, the more outrageous she became. What nonsense. I don't like black people. Alice pouted. Sarana was afraid of making her angry, so she immediately grabbed her hand and ran towards the competition venue, and the two of them were going to celebrate Chen Feng. At this time, Chen Feng and his teammates finished celebrating and walked out of the football field. A TV reporter walked over to Chen Feng and interviewed. Hello, Chen Feng, may I ask you to help Londrina turn over against the wind? What is your feeling now? Chen Feng smiled indifferently and said, very happy. As the only hat trick in the second division this season, how do you feel? Chen Feng pursed his lips, thought for a long time, and said lightly, no feelings, just basic operations. Wow. As soon as these words came out, even the reporter was shocked and said wow. I have to admire Chen Feng's supernatural technology and self-confidence. The interview ended. After all, it was a match in the Beijia League, and there were very few reporters present. If it's Beijia, it's a different story. The reporter just walked on the front foot. Alice and Sarana rushed over on the hind foot, and their skirts flew in the air, forming a different kind of beauty. Alice gave Chen Feng a big hug as soon as she ran over. Cousin, you are too powerful, too handsome. It simply refreshed my cognition. The cow beeped. Basic operation, basic operation. Chen Feng said with a smile. Alice, won't you give me a hug? I didn't score a goal, but I had the most assists of the game. Xiaohei on the side was jealous. Alice stuck her tongue out at him and grimaced. Seeing that you are doing well today, come on, hug one. Xiaohei was so excited that he jumped wildly on the spot, and the people on the side covered their mouths and laughed one by one. Sarana, are you satisfied with my performance? Chen Feng said with a smile. As expected, you performed for me at school, and I have long seen that you are different. Sarana smiled. A pair of eyes as blue as the sea fluttered, and her blushing cheeks bloomed like roses. Here, hold one. Chen Feng opened his arms. The blushing cheeks hugged her shyly, and a fresh fragrance came to her face. Episode 19. Due to Chen Feng's hat trick, he helped the team turn over against the wind. Londrina's aggregate score moved to 8th. Coritiba is still at the top of the table, despite the break. After the game, Mark Pelosi fiercely kicked Jonas in the back and angrily scolded. You idiot. It was because of you that we lost this game. Jonas was scolded so much that he didn't dare to squeak, and he was stunned in place and did not dare to move. Idiot. Mark Pelosi clenched his fists and wanted to hammer Jonas to death with one punch. Due to Chen Feng's special status, he scored another hat trick in this match against Coritiba. The various Samba skills are used so skillfully and gorgeously. Chen Feng not only successfully eliminated the doubts about him from the outside world, but also had many fans overnight. At the same time, it has also attracted the attention of major bus clubs. What's going on with this Chen Feng? Did you find out his information? The head coach of Natal America, who is also a club in the second division, asked the assistant coach. It has been found out that Chen Feng's father is called Chen Ping, an authentic Dragon Country man, who has played in the Beijia League for many years. But Chen Ping's results were mediocre, and later he completely broke off the idea of playing football and went to Dragon Kingdom for business. Chen Feng's mother's name is Elena, a Brazilian, who was once a well-known young model, the head coach said thoughtfully after listening. That is to say, Chen Feng is half Brazilian? His father is also a professional soccer player, so it's no wonder that Chen Feng's style of play is so close to Samba football. Most likely, it was taught by his father. It shouldn't be Chen Ping Jiao. According to our investigation, Chen Ping returned to the Dragon Kingdom with his wife and children. He said goodbye to football and never followed any football matches. For Chen Feng, he was even stricter and did not allow him to play football at all. The assistant coach analyzed. Is that so? What a weirdness. The manager looked confused. What is even more surprising is that Chen Feng, as a high school student, followed the Dragon Kingdom U18 echelon to Londrina for a year-long training. As a result, in the training match, Chen Feng's performance was very amazing. So Londrina signed the 17-year-old Asian boy. That means Chen Feng didn't participate in any youth training? The manager's eyes furrowed and unimaginable. It should be. It's terrifying. It's incredible that you can have such gorgeous and soul-destroying skills with your hobby alone. The head coach trembled in his heart. He had been coaching Bobby for more than 10 years, and it was the first time he had seen this kind of anomaly. At the same time, other clubs in the second league are also intensively investigating Chen Feng's background. After the investigation, everyone was surprised. Even if Chen Feng has a father who can play football, he shouldn't have this level. Clubs are blindfolded. Londrina is now 8th in points with 5 games left. If they win only 4 of the next 5 games, they should have no problem finishing in the top 4. According to Chen Feng's performance, it is entirely possible to turn the tide and help Londrina be promoted. What a terrible opponent. Head coach Alapalaka lamented. Due to the victory of the match, the club toasted to the Londrina club on this day. Alice and Sarana also attended the celebration. At the reception, the head coach stood up, picked up his glass and said, "Today our player Chen created the only hat-trick of the season to help our team turn around against the wind. Contribution. Let's toast him." Everyone in the audience stood up and toasted Chen Feng with a glass of wine. "Thank you. Without your assists, I couldn't have completed the headwind turnaround. Football is not a one-man game. Everyone is indispensable and a hero. Especially the head coach is our backbone, the most indispensable." Chen Feng is very modest, which continues the humble style of Orientals. As soon as these words fell, the teammates all smiled. After all, Chen Feng's words not only accepted everyone's praise, but also raised the sense of existence of his teammates. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. At the moment, even the head coach was smiling. After the celebration banquet, Chen Feng and Xiaohei sent Alice and Sarana to take a plane. Although they looked reluctant, Alice and Sarana had classes tomorrow and had to go back. Chen, next game. Apparently, Sarana still wants to come and watch the next game, but Chen Feng said, "No, you are both students, you should focus on schoolwork." Seeing Sarana's disappointed expression, Chen Feng immediately said, "I guess the last game is a life and death battle, and if you win all the next games, you may win the championship. When the time comes, I will inform you. Welcome to the scene." When Sarana heard this, she immediately smiled. One word is a decision. Watching Alice and Sarana enter the airport, Chen Feng and Xiaohei return to the club. What follows is endless training. In addition to maintaining training, Chen Feng also deliberately made time to exercise every day. Also strengthened the conversation and communication with teammates to close the distance so as to have a better cooperation in the game. Chen Feng has won the full support of his teammates and has undoubtedly become the backbone of this team. A week later, on match day, Londrina will host America Natal. Before the match, the 2 teams had already announced the squads for the starting match. Chen Feng is no longer a substitute player, but a starting striker. The teammates all congratulated Chen Feng. Obviously, for Chen Feng's debut, it is expected by everyone. Now Londrina's morale is high. Head coach Kos was also very happy. At night, Chen Feng lay in bed and began to plan his future development. Londrina's promotion this year should be fine. In the first half of next year, it will participate in the Copa do Brasil and the Baja Liga. If it goes well, it will be fine to make a name for yourself in Brazilian football, and then you will most likely go to the top European clubs. After all, the European battlefield is the place where top footballers aspire. As for which club it is, it depends on fate. A week later, Londrina hosted America Natal. Coach Natal Americas believes that he has studied Chen Feng thoroughly, and has developed the main tactics for this purpose. 4 central defenders were sent to focus on Chen Feng. Do your best to prevent Chen Feng from taking the ball. Even if other defensive lines relax, they can't let Chen Feng get the ball. However, when he was really on the field, Chen Feng played the maximum role of the trident. Let Blackie and Walter get the ball, and in the first half, the 2 teams exchanged shots, but they were unsuccessful. End the match 0-0. In the second half, Londrina kicked off, and Chen Feng took the ball directly to perfectly show criminal possession. It has to be said that Natal America's tactics are indeed useful, and in the first half, several bulls and horses built a big iron barrel. It was hard to let Chen Feng not touch the ball. However, Chen Feng has not been in a hurry, all kinds of no-ball running, several central defenders can only keep chasing. The whole field ran in a wide range of ports, which was a trifle for Chen Feng, but it's very difficult for these central defenders. By the second half, their stamina had dropped significantly. This Asian boy, why is his physical strength so good? We were all too tired to run, but he was still like a galloping leopard. What a hell. Natal America's center-back staring at Chen Feng was complaining. I saw that after Chen Feng took the ball, he controlled the ball for up to 12 seconds. Using Marseille's roundabout moves, there were also several stops and changes of direction to successfully break into the opponent's penalty area. The last beautiful pay arc shoots the ball into the net. The score is 1-0. Such a very spectacle once again shocked the fans in the stands. And the players of Natal America were also stunned and shouted for death. Episode 20. The game continues, but several central defenders in Natal America are already seriously exhausted and can't prevent Chen Feng. Watching Chen Feng's show-off footwork, they were numb all over. In the 82nd minute, Londrina scored 2 goals in a row. The score was 3-0. The first goal was Chen Feng dribbling laterally in front of him, and he shot the ball straight into the net. The other ball, Chen Feng, gave way to Xiaohe. After all, Xiaohe also needs a record to increase his value. Chen Feng sent an excellent straight plug in the 3-person encirclement. Let Blackie with a wide open space on the flank get an attacking opportunity. Blackie didn't disappoint everyone either, and a perfect header sent the ball into the net. With 8 minutes left in the game, America Natal's players were largely exhausted. Even the physical strength to run is gone. Seeing this, Chen Feng was too lazy to score again, and Blackie and Walter tried to dribble each other non-stop, just for fun. Until the end of the game, the cheers rang out again. When the players of Natal America walked off the field, their head coach blew his beard and scolded fiercely. A bunch of waste, it's a shame. The assistant coach rushed forward to comfort him, and then asked the head coach to go back to rest. That Dragon Kingdom boy's physical strength is simply not comparable to ordinary people, I suspect. A central defender who was eyeing Chen Feng complained. Doubt what? Suspect that he is not a man, but a god? Is it God? The assistant coach, who wore black glasses, glared at the player. The manager and I watched the game the whole time, and Londrina's players were also running around the area. Why can they do it, can't you? It was only the end of the first half, and it was as if he was tired to death, and people were still jumping alive. Are all people? How can there be such a big difference? The only reason is that you can't. After going back, each person runs 20 laps around the football field, and he is not allowed to rest until he finishes running. Huh? 20 laps? Coach, we can't run anymore. The players showed their displeasure. Still dare to bargain? Is 40 laps enough? We're okay. The players hurried away. In the next 3 games, Chen Feng played and won all of them smoothly. The results were 3-0, 2-0, 3-1. As for the ball that was lost, it was due to a foul by a teammate, and the opponent took a penalty. Then the goalkeeper did not save the ball and conceded a goal. However, it does not affect the outcome of the game. After 5 matches, Londrina finished second with a record of 17 wins, 12 draws, and 8 defeats. Only 2 points less than Curitiba in first place. Curitiba's 38 games are over, and Londrina has 1 game left, according to the Begia format. 3 points are awarded for winning a game, no points for the loser, and 1 point for each team in the tie. If Londrina can win this match 3 days later, there is a good chance of winning the title. Chen Feng really didn't guess wrong. The last game was a life and death battle to win the championship. The team played against is Fagilans. It is an established football club that has been successfully promoted many times in its history. It's just that the team's skills are not stable, and they often rise up and fall again. Among the players in Fagilans, there are several veterans. Striker Rafael Qualo, for example, scored 17 goals last season, won the title of top scorer in the 2nd division. With 3 days to go, Curitiba and Fagilans both looked very anxious. Curitiba is very worried that Londrina will win the next game and then their title will be lost. And Fagilans, currently ranked 5th. If you can win the next match, you will be able to enter the top 4 and be promoted to the 1st division. But they also know that Londrina is very strong. Especially the trident dominated by Chen Feng is simply a nightmare existence. Curitiba's head coach has a headache over this. Seeing this, Mark Pelosi put forward his own proposal. Coach, Londrina's strength is far from being comparable to Fagilans, and his strength on paper is a big difference. If we want to keep the championship, we can only take special measures. The head coach's eyes shrunk, and after pondering for a while, he said, "This matter is left to you. Money is not a problem. Yes, I promise to complete the mission." In the middle of the night, Mark Pelosi with Fagilans' assistant coach sneaked into Coach Londrina's office. "Sir, as long as Londrina is willing to lose this game, we are willing to give 50 million euros together. Londrina's promotion is already a certainty. Losing this game, all 3 of us were happy. We need to keep the title because we've been number 1 since the middle of the season. If the results are reversed, sponsors will certainly feel resentment." And Fagilans, on the other hand, was 1 victory, and if they took them, they would be promoted. And your club can get 50 million euros out of thin air. We all know that wasn't Londrina's takeover by Figure Group because he didn't have money. Now is such a great opportunity. do you want to miss it? In addition to playing well, Mark Pelosi is also quite eloquent, especially lobbying ability. The interests of all parties are clearly explained and the Koscielny is convinced. Indeed, Mark Pelosi is right that the club is indeed short of money. 50 million euros is not a small amount and will solve many of the club's crises. After all, the goal given to them by Figure Group is to promote to the first class, and now that the goal has been completed, they naturally will not say anything if they do not win the second championship. After thinking for a while, Koscielny said, "Make sure it's okay?" "Of course not." Before the words fell, Chen Feng pushed open the office door and roared with aura. "Of course there's a problem, manager. I hate match fixing the most in my life. If you promise them, I will cancel the contract now." Chen Feng had just come to the office and had a few questions that he wanted to discuss with Koscielny, but he didn't expect to overhear their conversation. Although Koscielny is excusable, how can Chen Feng be a match fixer? In his last life, he refused to play match fixing and was banned, but what else is he afraid of in this life with a system? "Chen, don't be impulsive, I have something to say. I haven't promised them yet." Kos, you immediately went to persuade Chen Feng. Chen Feng is their sea god needle. Without him, this team will definitely die. What are you two doing here? Hurry up and me. Chen Feng glared angrily at Mark Pelosi and Fagelin's assistant coaches. Seeing this, the two could only run away in ashes. Episode 21. With Chen Feng's arrival, Londrina won 5 consecutive victories. Chen Feng gradually attracted the attention of the mainstream media in Brazil. Many media outlets put various headlines full of gimmicks. For example, Oriental boy flips Bobby with his Samba ball show. Is this the rise and fall of Brazilian football? Samba football skills were used by Asian boy. This season, Asian boy Chen Feng held second in the top scorer list. Asian boy single-handedly raised the ceiling of Samba skills. Headlines like this began to appear in major media. It gradually attracted the attention of the big clubs of the Baja Liga. However, the media has always exaggerated for the sake of eyeballs. The attention of Bahia is not very high, so many Bahia Giants clubs are holding a wait-and-see attitude for the time being. On the official website of the second league, Londrina has also become the most watched club this season. The search index far exceeds Curitiba. As for the ball market, it was even more hot, once close to the popularity of the Bahia. A large number of fans poured into the ball market, frantically buying Londrina to win, because many people watched the big upset match between Londrina and Curitiba. He put his entire net worth on Londrina's next match. "I didn't expect to win all 5 games, and these people made a lot of money." Some of them showed off online, so much so that more fans poured into the market. 3 days later, Londrina's match against Fagelin's officially began. Chen Feng played as a starter and played as a front back. 3 of the first 5 matches were on different football venues. Therefore, Chen Feng also gained a total of 1,000 dream points. He added all of them to the Samba skill column. Samba skills, 2,500/10,000. He clearly felt that his understanding of Samba skills had deepened. Alice and Sarana also sat in the stands early, waving flags and cheering. Londrina kicked off, and after Xiaohei took the ball, he kicked straight and passed directly to Chen Feng. Chen Feng was ready to accelerate directly and burst into the opponent's penalty area to form a single knife. Unexpectedly, the opposing striker Rafael Qualo quickly pressed up and formed a tight defensive posture against him. "Sarana, that's the Rafael Qualo I just told you. He was the top scorer last season, scoring 17 goals. He has scored 14 goals this season," Alice said as she chewed gum. "This man looks so fierce, you see that his gaze is like a wolf, he looks scared. Will he take revenge on Chen?" Sarana looked worried. Did he get revenge on his cousin? "I'm afraid you forgot how that black man broke his bones before," Alice said disapprovingly. After this period of observation, she found that Chen Feng was a transcendent existence, which could be said to be a complete god. She was not worried that Chen Feng would be retaliated, but worried about whether Xiaohei could score. She looked at Blackie's past record, which scored 8 goals last season and was a mainstay for Londrina. But since Chen Feng came, Xiaohei has only scored 3 goals so far, and the light has been completely covered by Chen Feng. Alice had just finished speaking. Raphael made a flanking tackle, but fortunately Chen Feng dodged quickly, otherwise he might be tackled to his feet. "Good boy, you have a feud with me, right?" Chen Feng secretly said angrily, meeting Raphael's fierce gaze. It can be seen that Raphael is too strong. He was the top scorer last season, and he also wants to win this honor this season. However, after Chen Feng came, he began to threaten his existence. Chen Feng scored 13 goals in just 5 games, ranking only below him in the scorer list. With a sense of crisis, Raphael thought of defeating Chen Feng and proving to the football world that he was the top scorer in the second division. It's a pity that he looks down on people with dog eyes. Chen Feng waved his big hand, and the momentum of Xiaohei and Walter Trident formed. Chen Feng ran strongly, and Raphael kept a close watch. Seeing Walter running a big gap on the sideline, Chen Feng kicked the ball straight to him. Raphael did not panic when he saw this. Anyway, he did not grab the ball, but only stared closely at Chen Feng. Walter dribbled the ball all the way to the front sideways, shaking away the defense of 2 central defenders in a row. But several of Fegu Aaron's central defenders surrounded Walter. An impenetrable large iron drum was formed. Walter had no choice but to pass the ball to Chen Feng, who was outside the box. After Chen Feng took the ball, he plunged straight into the box, and Raphael quickly jumped towards him when he saw this. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng made a sharp stop and retreated, taking advantage of the situation to pass the ball to Xiaohei in the small penalty area. Raphael hurriedly ran with 5 central defenders to the center to grab the ball. Blackie jumped high and headed the ball into the goal. Unfortunately, he didn't hit the ball and slid out. The next thing that shocked everyone was Raphael, who struck a big jump. Faced with the little black top, crooked header dodged, accidentally swung himself an own goal. I accidentally put the ball into my own goal. In an instant, the audience boiled. The fans of Fakelands were in an uproar, a sigh. The faces of the players and teammates of Fakelands, especially the head coach, are extremely dark at the moment. At the same time, the fans of Londrina shouted loudly, and the whole stadium seemed to be shaken. This is the first own goal of the season. What's even more funny is that the first own goal still appeared on Raphael, the top scorer last season and the top scorer this season. It's unimaginable. The score is 1-0. Chen Feng ran over and gave Xiaohei a big hug. Brother Hey, nice job. Xiaohei touched the back of his head, looked confused, and said with an embarrassed smile, It was an accident. No, it's not an accident. Your header is too good. Someone else is directly heading the goal. You are an indirect header shot. Do not forget to use the power to play. It is really exquisite. In the face of Chen Feng's praise, Xiaohei's face was as red as a monkey's butt. Looking at the sky, Alice saw that Xiaohei scored a goal and seriously insulted Raphael. She couldn't help but be ecstatic, shouting frantically, Blackie, Blackie, Blackie. He also said that he didn't like black people, and I saw that heart had already been dug up by others. Sarana on the side shook her head and sighed. In the face of the doubts of teammates and the taunts of opponents, as well as the sighs and insults of countless spectators in the stands, Raphael suddenly felt a surge in pressure. Raphael is a true Brazilian who started playing football at an early age and received numerous applause for his talent. This makes him a person who has a hard time accepting failure. Today's embarrassing situation has quickly unbalanced his mentality, but the game has begun. Where can he slowly recuperate? Episode 22. Fakelands kicked off, and the midfielder took the ball and went straight into the Londrina penalty area, facing the siege of Blackie. The only option was to pass it straight to Raphael, but Raphael is like a deflated leather ball. Suddenly it can't work. Whether it is dribbling with the ball, the speed has dropped a lot. Raphael, cheer up, we need you. But he didn't seem to hear the encouragement of his teammates. Without paying attention, Chen Feng invaded from the flank and tackled the ball under his feet. After returning to the defense to break the ball, launch a counterattack on the spot, kill a dragon to the small penalty area, and then pull the ball through the crotch to throw off the opponent's goalkeeper, and easily enter the net. The score is 2-0. What followed was Chen Feng's solo show, 180-degree slalom straight to single out 7 Fakelands, run 50 meters long, and send the ball into the net. The score is 3-0. Assuming the real button, Chen Feng teased the 5 people of Fakelands, and even the goalkeeper and the camera were deceived. When the goalkeeper is defenseless, send the ball into the net. The score is 4-0. Without Raphael, Fakelands is a puddle of mud that cannot be supported, completely falling apart. This second championship competition has become Chen Feng's ultimate solo show. A variety of beautiful and soul-destroying samba skills emerge one after another. Every frame of the picture is full of technique, inspiration, and talent. The whistle sounded until the end of the game, and the score finally stopped at 7-0. Londrina won this match by an absolute margin and became the undisputed and high-profile champion of the second division. 7-0 sweep of Fakelands. Brazilian football is finally a sensation. All the Londrina's fans shouted wildly. After all, this is the best result in Londrina's history. At first, fans thought that the Asian boy replacing mainstay Jonas was the club's worst mistake. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng soon proved to everyone with his absolute personal strength. I thought that the promotion to the first class was the biggest surprise, but I didn't expect to win the championship of the second division in one fell swoop. At this moment, all the Londrina fans in Brazil went crazy. Chen Feng also became the top scorer in the second division with 19 goals. Golden Boot winner. Raphael was left far behind. The celebration is over. Chen Feng and his teammates walked out of the football field. Outside the stadium, some people ran towards Chen Feng with cameras and microphones. Chen, it's Chen, he's here. Someone shouted loudly. Immediately, these people rushed over. It was clear that he wanted to interview Chen Feng. Wow, Chen, you're famous. These journalists I know. They are all local media in Parana. That one is the head media of Bahia. Xiaohei shouted loudly, feeling happy for Chen Feng. Chen Feng remembers very well that a reporter from a football newspaper came to interview him last time. I didn't expect that there would be so many reporters now, including Bahia's head media. Chen, is it convenient for you to be interviewed? A female reporter from the head media of Bahia asked enthusiastically. Although the local media in Parana also want to interview, after all, the level is low, and the influence is far less than that of the head media of Baja. It's not for them to offend, making way is the best option. Chen, as an Asian boy, first questioned, then applauded. Can you describe the mental journey? Chen Feng smiled and said, I enjoy this sense of ups and downs. The road of life has ups and downs, this is just the norm of life, enjoyment is the meaning of life. You are so humorous, I have to say that the Oriental aesthetic ideas are undoubtedly displayed in you. Ridiculous. Chen Feng smiled indifferently, did you enjoy the game? I was content and enjoyed it, we played a good game, it's a championship game and we have to win. Raphael had an oolong accident, did you deliberately create it? Beijia media is really sharp, no, I just passed the ball to my teammate normally, he was just out of luck. An evil smile appeared at the corner of Chen Feng's mouth, to say that there was no design at all, it was really fake, but he did not expect that as a veteran, Raphael actually fell for the trick. I hope Raphael can get back on his feet, he's still very good. Chen Feng said. At the same time, the Dragon Kingdom, thousands of miles away, the sports channel of Longhua National Television is broadcasting the second championship final. This is a temporary decision of the TV station to broadcast it, and in the past, the Pakistan Second League was not paid attention to. After all, the attention is not high, and it is difficult to attract traffic. Most fans of Dragon Country are still on the Baja League. Lucci is a famous football commentator on the sports channel. In the commentary competition, there are often wonderful second comments. The commentary style is humorous, unique, and systematic. It is considered a representative of the style of sports commentary in the new era. He had already explained the day's Baja match, and he was slightly tired. After drinking an energy drink and picking up your spirits, the explanation began again. Dear viewers, fans, and friends, the next broadcast for you is the Beijia League. Londrina, who is sitting at home, against Fegalins. The strength of the two teams has been hovering in the middle of the second division all year round, and it can be said that they are equal. But this year, Londrina's sudden rise to the top of the league is second in the league, behind Curitiba. This final is very meaningful for both teams. If Londrina can win this match, he will be able to surpass Curitiba in total points and become the champions of the second division. And Fegalins, who is currently fifth in points, can win this match, he will be in the top four and in the Baja Liga. Let's take a look at the starting lineups of both teams. Londrina's starting formation is 343, and the starting players are Georgie Tori, Walter, Chen Feng. When he read the last name of the starter, Chen Feng, Lucci was stunned for a moment. The name, it's kind of interesting, it's completely the name of the Dragon Kingdom. Could it be? As a football commentator, Lucci naturally has a general understanding of the Pakistan B League. Never heard of a football player named Chen Feng? It should be a matter of English translation. Lucci smiled awkwardly, and then explained, because of the transliteration of the name, we can often find some Dragon countrymen in some European and American teams. There's nothing surprising about that. The next second, when Lucci opened the player's details, he was dumbfounded on the spot. Chen Feng, 175 centimeters tall, professional forward, nationality unknown, elementary school, junior high school, and high school are respectively enrolled in Longhua XXX school. His father, Chen Feng, was a native of Longhua and played for the Bobby Club. Mother Elena, a well-known young model in Brazil. What? Is Chen Feng really from the Dragon Country? Lucci couldn't help but exclaim that his father was from the Dragon Kingdom, but his mother was Brazilian, which meant that Chen Feng was of mixed race. Chen Feng's nationality information is not specified, but it is likely to be from the Dragon Kingdom. Although Lucci has kept his voice as low as possible, some fans still heard his words. Episode 23. What? Dragon Kingdom players? There are actually Dragon Country players in the Beijia League? Upstairs, don't make a fuss, there are many players from the Dragon Kingdom who enter the Beijia League. After all, it is not the Beijia. It's just that I just checked the result of this match, and Londrina won 7-0. What? Londrina won the second division? Is this named Chen Feng or the top scorer of the Bobby and the Golden Boot Award? Oh my god, it's incredible. You're not mistaken, are you? What are you talking about? The Bobby champion turned out to be won by a Dragon Country man named Chen Feng? It's impossible, the Dragon Kingdom players are not so powerful. It's not that the fans are presumptuous. It's really the football of the Dragon Kingdom that hurts the hearts of the fans too much. In the past, there were excellent players such as Yang Chen, Sun Jihai, and General Fanda who stayed in the ocean. Europe's mainstream leagues can occasionally see Dragon Country players, but now hey, don't mention it, it's all sad past. Lucci couldn't determine whether Chen Feng was from the Dragon Kingdom. After all, the nationality column was empty, and he couldn't find supporting information for a while. I had to continue the commentary first. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng's superb Samba skills and single-handedly created a 7-0 score. In the game, Lucci choked up for a while. He is too eager for this day, too eager for the people of the Dragon Country to take off in world football, and shame before the snow. Seeing Chen Feng shining in Bai, Lucci burst into tears for a while. He had already made up his mind to find Chen Feng's information. Even if Chen Feng is of Chinese descent, he can be completely naturalized. The Dragon Country Football Association is not a fart, and it actually allowed such a talented football player to lose overseas. Lucci couldn't help but secretly complain about a wave. The fans watching the match were also very excited. This Chen Feng's ball skills are too against the sky, If he is really from the Dragon Country, he will give wings to our Dragon Country football takeoff. I still don't believe it. The people of the Dragon Kingdom can't have this level. Don't expect the greater the disappointment. Yes, I don't believe it either. Inside the city of Londrina, an upscale tea house, a man in a black suit, with eyes and shiny hair, looked at Chen Feng in a white polo shirt with a kind face. Chen, Palmeiras is arguably the best club in the Baja Liga right now, the Eden that many stars dream of. Our club really appreciates your performance in the second division. After high-level discussions, I would like to invite you to join the club and start a new business together. If you have any requirements, please do not hesitate to mention and we will try to accommodate them. The man in front of Chen Feng is Andre Curry, a scout of Baldivi's Giants Palmeiras. In addition to the European arena, he will also pay attention to the movements of the domestic league. He had carefully watched Chen Feng's 6 games in the second league, and was completely impressed by Chen Feng's skills. After the consent of the senior management of the Palmeiras club, it was decided to dig Chen Feng with a high salary. Chen Feng naturally knew about the Palmeiras club. Even 10 years later, Palmeiras is still the top club in the Baja Liga, a longing place for many stars. Andre Curry thought that Chen Feng would agree without hesitation. Unexpectedly, he actually said unashamedly, "Palmeiras is the best club in Brazil now, but it won't be certain, because Londrina will soon take its place." Chen Feng came to Brazil to level up on the one hand, and to prove himself on the other hand. His ultimate goal is the European giants. Otherwise, why did superstars such as Xiao Luo and Nurma go to Europe to play? And it's not because European football is the top of world football. Although Palmeiras is the best club in Brazil, it is still not comparable to the top clubs in Europe. Moreover, Chen Feng could completely rely on his personal strength. In one fell swoop, Londrina pushed to the height of by Palmeiras. As for salary, Londrina will never lose him. Facing the arrogant and unseen look of the young man in front of him, Andre Curry was so angry that his face darkened. A slap on the table. "You are such an Asian boy who does not know the sky, and your self-righteousness will definitely kill you. Then wait and see who is self-righteous. Walk slowly, don't send." Chen Feng stood up and waved his hand. His incomparable temperament was undoubtedly displayed at this moment. "Humph." Andre Curry gasped, picked up the signing documents on the table, and left the tea house angrily. As soon as he walked out of the tea house, Chen Feng received a call from his mother from the Dragon Kingdom. "Chen, how are you doing with the youth academy over there? Still getting used to it?" Elena asked with concern. "Mom, I've been living in Brazil for several years, how can I not get used to it? You put 10,000 hearts, I'm doing well here." Chen Feng said with a smile. "Don't blame your dad, he's also for your good after this year. Well, come back next year and go to school properly, understand? I know dad's good intentions, don't worry." Chen Feng does not plan to tell his parents about his situation in Brazil for the time being. After all, the current results are not enough for Chen Ping to change his mind. "If you have any difficulties, go to your uncle, understand?" Elena repeatedly instructed. "I know." Although Chen Feng's performance in the Beijia League caused a small sensation in the Dragon Kingdom, but Chen Ping is dedicated to business on weekdays, and he is also deliberately not concerned about things in the football world. Even if a friend around him mentions it, he avoids it as much as possible. In addition, Elena did not have much interest in football, so they did not know about Chen Feng at all. Near the end of the year, Alice and Sarana were preparing for the exam, so they couldn't spare the time. The two still searched the internet from time to time for news about the Londrina club. The whole year's competition is over, but Chen Feng's people still can't relax their training. After all, next year will challenge the higher levels of the Baja Liga and the Copa Brazil. "Cousin, Sarana and I are too busy, you come with us for the new year this year, the better." "I am Sarana," Alice said enthusiastically on the phone. "Yes, if I have time, then I will definitely come." Chen Feng agreed. "By the way, Alice, how is your relationship with Brother He?" Chen Feng asked tentatively. Although Xiao He was his good teammate and good friend, he had the blood of the Dragon Kingdom flowing in his bones after all. It's okay to be friends with black people, but if he pushes his cousin to black people, he really can't accept it. "No way, it's not about racism." "Cousin, what do you want?" "I'm still a student, I'm busy going to university, where will I think about that? Xiao He and I are good friends at best, don't think too much," Alice said speechlessly. "Then I'm relieved." Step out of the tea house, a sunny day, suitable for a walk. Episode 24. The end of the year is approaching, and the players on the training ground of Londrina are a little absent-minded. It's New Year's Eve this night, and they all have families or girlfriends, and they all want to go back to date. Assistant Coach Pardo saw everyone's psychology and announced, "Okay, today's training is over, let's do what to do." The team members scattered with a ha. Xiao He glanced at Chen Feng next to him. He thought that Chen Feng would be ape-like, but he didn't expect it to be unusual. "Isn't Chen Feng in a hurry to date? It's not scientific." "Chen, what are you still training here for? Go find Sarana." "Brother He, you're not coming with me? I have a surprise for you." When Xiao He heard this, he thought that Chen Feng agreed to him to go to New Year's Eve with Alice, and hurriedly said, "Chen, you are really a good buddy, powerful." The two put their shoulders on each other and flew to the state of Mato Grosso. As a good buddy, Chen Feng felt that stopping Xiao He and Alice was a little too careless, so I thought of a remedy. Brother He, in the future, you try not to go to nightclubs. Even if you go to nightclubs, don't hook up with girls. On the plane, Chen Feng said bitterly, there are many examples of football stars falling in nightclubs in history, such as Barty, and broadly speaking, Xiao Luo. What a shame. Xiao He was stunned, and before Chen Feng could explain, he understood it on his own. Chen, I see, you also want me to be with Alice, right? Don't worry, I promised you that I will never go to a nightclub in the future. As soon as these words came out, Chen Feng looked confused and knocked on the back of Xiao He's head. What do you think? I want you to become a top professional. So many talented superstars have plummeted in their state because they often go to nightclubs. Xiao He grinned after hearing this, and by the way, he made an African grimace at Chen Feng. So, you're my fan? On the streets of Mato Grosso, Xiao He looked at the blonde girl standing next to Sarana with a confused expression. I thought it was Alice who was waiting, but I didn't expect to wait for my own fans. The blonde girl is named Sandra and is from Cameroon, Africa, whose parents are in business in Brazil, so she followed her to go to school here. She is in the same class as Sarana, although Sandra is black, but her facial features are three-dimensional, with a high nose and big eyes. With a small and perfect face, his facial features are particularly delicate. Chen Feng was stunned. There is such a beauty in Africa? No wonder in his previous life he had heard of beautiful women from Cameroon. Sandra nodded and smiled. In the previous Beijia League, I watched the match with Sarana. You are too handsome. First time to see such a beautiful female fan. Xiao He gently pushed Chen Feng, calling him too interesting. Thank you. Xiao He turned out to be a little shy, although he has played football in Bai for many years, but the results have been mediocre, so they have fewer fans. Since you are both from Africa and are also fellow countrymen, let's talk more. As soon as the words fell, Chen Feng deliberately took Sarana to another street. While walking, the two also laughed secretly. Sarana, you are too godly. Sandra is really your classmate? Chen Feng was still a little unconvinced. After all, he called her today and asked her to help with this. Unexpectedly, Sarana really did what she said. Of course, this may also be fate. There happens to be a black man in our class, but wouldn't Alice be angry if she found out? No, I know my cousin's personality. She is measured, not to mention that her uncle's family would not agree if they knew about it. Since it is not suitable, it is better to break early. Chen Feng let out a long sigh. Chen, you sign my name. Sarana suddenly took out a pen and paper and asked Chen Feng to sign it. This, if I don't sign it, I'm an amateur. Chen Feng laughed awkwardly. Nope. You're not. Sarana quickly interrupted. Your Samba stunt on the court is definitely not something that an amateur player can achieve. I'm sure it won't be long before you become a football superstar. If you don't sign me now, I'm afraid I won't be able to sign it in the future. Although Chen Feng is only a player in Babi, his value is not high, but Sarana has seen Chen Feng's skills firsthand many times, and in time, he will soon cause a huge sensation in Brazilian football. Unable to resist Sarana, Chen Feng had to say, borrow your words, then I'll sign it for you first. Chen Feng picked up a pen and wrote down his name on the paper. Sarana looked satisfied and put away the signature paper as if it were a baby. Chen, I heard that your mother is also Brazilian? Or a well-known tender model? The two chatted while strolling through the streets. Chen Feng nodded, and the lights on the street hit his face, slightly dazzling. The eyes are raised, the stars are thousands of stars, and there is a great scene. Yes, my father was originally a footballer from Dragon Country, and was later discovered by scouts and entered the Beijia League. He was ambitious, but the reality was too desperate. He has been playing in the second division for many years and his results are mediocre. Later, desperate, he returned to the Dragon Kingdom with his family in a fit of anger to do business. What a pity. Sarana sighed softly. The white light hits Sarana's delicate and beautiful face, which is very moving. It may be because his mother Elena is Brazilian. As soon as Chen Feng saw Elena, it gives birth to a sense of belonging. When he was in the Dragon Kingdom, no matter how beautiful a girl Chen Feng saw, he had never felt this way. But luckily, my father met his sweetheart, and the two fell in love and got married. After returning to Dragon Country, my father often mentioned that he did not go to Brazil for nothing. My mother was his biggest gain. After saying that, Chen Feng couldn't help but laugh. Shawnera on the side nodded while showing a charming smile. Rumble. Rumble. Suddenly, there seemed to be a rumbling explosion in the distant sky, and the night sky was faintly shining. Are there fireworks over there? Chen Feng asked lightly. Yes, we have a New Year's Eve fireworks show here every year. It's about to be midnight. Chen Feng's eyes lit up after hearing this. Let's go and see. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Shawnera excitedly took Chen Feng's hand, and the two crossed a street. Then he entered an alley, then entered a campus, and sneaked into a tower while the security guard was not looking. This is the attraction of the Federal University of Mato Grosso do Sul and the highest place in the state. The two climbed all the way to the top of the tower. Chen Feng opened the top gate, and the next moment completely blinded their eyes. I saw colorful fireworks forming a wonderful pattern in the night sky. It seemed that the whole sky was lit up. The brilliant light was also reflected in the eyes of the stunning girl next to her. I looked at the time with my mobile phone, but I didn't expect that the time was exactly 23:59. 9, and the two involuntarily started the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. Chen Feng was still thinking about how to congratulate Sarana on a Happy New Year, but when he saw the beautiful elf, Sarana said loudly, "Chen, Happy New Year." Sarana actually said it in standard Mandarin. "Chen, thank you, tonight is the happiest Chinese New Year's Eve I have ever had." On the street, Sarana's beautiful eyes shone and smiled. "Me too, it's too late, I should send you home." Episode 25. Grandma, Grandfather, Uncle, Aunt, I toast you four for a cup. At the Chinese New Year's Eve meal, Chen Feng picked up the wine glass and smiled. "Cousin, I toast you. I hope you will be admitted to the best university next year. Cousin, may you win the Copa Brazil and the double title of the Baja Liga next year." Alice picked up her glass and said with a smile. Chen Feng just put the liquor in his throat, almost didn't choke, and coughed repeatedly. "What the hell is this little kneesy doing? Didn't you say that you would help yourself hide it? How did it leak so quickly?" "Chen, don't blame Alice, I already saw you on TV, and then Alice told me all about it." The well-groomed uncle in a suit continued. "I also feel sorry for your father, who played in the second division, and I never wanted to help him. Although he is now returning to the Dragon Kingdom to do business, we have never objected to you playing football. Although he has not achieved impressive results, it does not mean that you cannot. So, Chen, I watched your game, you are really very talented, and my uncle's family supports you to play. Your parents' side, we will continue to help you hide it." Alice nodded after hearing this, looking delighted. Chen Feng was so shocked when he heard this, his mouth couldn't close. "Uncle, you are too wise, too enlightened. My dad is really stubborn, he doesn't know how to be flexible, and he really can't communicate with him. Chen, don't blame your father, he is forgiven for doing this. After all, pouring all your strength into one thing, the result is not worth the loss, in exchange for anyone will despair." The curly-haired grandmother interjected, then several people chatted while eating. After the holidays, the team training went on as usual. The start of the Bundesliga and Copa Brazil began by about 2 months. Which is more important, Baja Liga or Copa de Basel has always been a point of controversy from the outside world. Some say that the Baja Liga represents the highest level of Brazilian football, while others disagree. In Chen Feng's view, the influence of the Brazil Cup is slightly stronger than that of the Baja Liga. After all, the Copa do Brasil covers a wider area, with a total of 91 participating teams. In history, there are also Bagia teams that have won the Copa Brazil many times. It can be said that the uncertainty has increased, and the team's skills have been tested. At the beginning of March, the Copa de Brasil was in full swing. Major teams have released their squads. Palmeiras remains the most watched team this year, topping the list. Strangely, Londrina came in second on the list. The team, who was promoted to the first division last year, actually ranked second on the watch list. What the heck? Most of the fans who only followed the Baja Liga, the Copa de Basel, and the Copa Libertadores were stunned. This has never been seen in previous years. So the fans went crazy to find out why. "I didn't know if I didn't know, I was shocked when I checked, but I didn't expect that Londrina actually won the championship of the second division." Londrina's strength skyrocketed because he signed an Asian boy named Chen Feng. Because of the madness of the fans, Chen Feng was instantly pushed to one of the most watched players. This was something none of Londrina's players had ever imagined. "Chen, do you know if you're on fire? Our team is also on fire." Xiao He took a devilish step and ran to congratulate Chen Feng. "Where did the fire start? Call the police." Chen Feng heard the wrong thing. "I mean you're on fire, you're on the list of the most watched players in the Copa Brazil." Xiao He said loudly, "Is it? Basic operation, no fuss." Chen Feng's face was full of disapproval. He was doing warm-up exercises and actively preparing for the battle. "Isn't it on the list? What a fuss. Look at this point of yours. How are you doing with Sandra?" Chen Feng asked with concern. "Chen, Sandra is so much to my taste, you kid is really good enough buddy." Xiao He patted Chen Feng's shoulder. "Black eats black, of course it is appetizing." Chen Feng muttered softly, and couldn't help but laugh secretly. "Chen, your cousin and Sarana are going to college this year, right? Where are they going to take the exam? Will you stay in Brazil?" Chen Feng raised his eyes and thought for a moment and said, "I suggested Sarana go to universities in Europe, like Cambridge." Alice's words, "I don't know too well, I guess it depends on my uncle's opinion." The reason why Chen Feng suggested Sarana to enter a European university was naturally due to his careful thinking. "I know, Chen, come on, sprint for the next race. Let's work together." The Copa de Basel is a home-and-away elimination system, but in the first and second rounds, if the away team outperforms the home team by 2 goals or more, they will directly qualify for the next round. The first match of the Copa do Pabasi was played by home Paulista against Atlético Paranaense. The difference between the two teams is large, with Atlético Paranaense winning the Baja Liga title and participating in the Copa Libertadores 3 times. Paulista, on the other hand, is nothing more than a state league team. Although the battle between the two sides was fierce, Paulista could not bear the opponent's attack at all, and the final match was won 2-0 by Atlético Paranaense. In the second game of the next day, Londrina played away to Atlético Goiânia. Atlético Goiânia ranked 10th among 20 teams in the Bundesliga, which is considered a mid-table veteran team and is not weak. Last year in the Copa de Brasilia, Atlético Goiânia played in the first round. The away win was 4-0 against the Brazilian club, advanced directly to the next round. In the round of 16, against Baja Liga's arch-rivals, Vasco da Gama, 2-1 at home, 3-2 away, won the tournament and advanced to the semi-finals. Then Atlético Goiânia rode and riveted to the final. I want to win the club and win the Copa do Brasil in one fell swoop. However, the opponent Palmeiras attacked too fiercely and Atlético Goiânia lost the match. For this reason, Atlético Goiânia has become the favorite of the season. Atlético Goiânia Club is located in the state of Goiás. In order to adapt to the venue in advance, do adaptive training. Led by head coach Koscielny, Londrina's team mentioned coming to Goiás 2 days ago. Head coach Koscielny stood on the sidelines of the court, looked at the court in front of him, and couldn't help but envy. It's such a nice environment, it's much better than our stadium. After all, it is a veteran team in the Baja Liga, and it is willing to spend money. Assistant coach Pardo said with a look of envy, when we have better results and more money, we also have to have a luxury. Cheer yourself up in Coast Tour. At the same time, the head coach and assistant coach of Atlético Goiânia also arrived on the pitch to let the players start warming up. The manager looked at the players wearing blue and yellow jerseys opposite, his eyes full of disdain. I heard they have a striker who is very good. Or a Dragon Kingdom boy? The outside world seems to be very popular, but I don't believe that these media always engage in various gimmicks in order to earn eyeballs, not once or twice. The people of the Dragon Kingdom play table tennis very well, but can they play football? How big a storm can a Dragon Kingdom boy make? Watch how our players blast him. This year, we are bound to win the Copa Brazil, to make up for last year's regrets. The assistant coach echoed, his eyes also full of disdain. That makes sense. Kill all sites before promotion, and completely mute after promotion. Are there fewer such clubs and players? The head coach asked with a smile, his words full of disdain for Londrina, who had just been promoted from the second division. If Chen Feng was here, he might want to laugh. Before the war, underestimating the enemy was a taboo. What's more, the same are all Baja teams, what else to play the contempt chain? It's a pity that the head coach with a mocking look does not yet know what he is about to encounter. The attention paid to the Copa Brazil is indeed the highest in Brazil, with a huge stadium full of 50,000 people. Although Londrina has just been promoted, the number of fans has increased rapidly due to last year's performance. Half of the 50,000 people have Londrina's fans, and his influence is no less than that of Atlético Goiânia. Episode 26. The referee blew the whistle of the first half and the two sides officially entered the game. Atlético Goiânia gets the kick-off. The two sides fought fiercely at the beginning, and the atmosphere was very tense for a while. Atlético Goiânia head coach Henry Mean sat in the dugout with a winning look on his face. Playing with such a team that has just been promoted to the first division, he really didn't pay attention to it. It is rumored that the Dragon Kingdom boy is very powerful, but Henry Min does not think so. Even he was ready to come up with tactics prepared for the championship in advance. They have also used this tactic twice before, and it works very well. This time it has been further improved, and it has been rehearsed for a long time. The aim is to let the newly promoted Londrina feel the strength of the real Bundesliga team. Let them often be the taste of a hammer. Let them know that the gap in hard power can never be bridged. The scene is exactly as he expected, with the ball firmly in the hands of Atlético Goiânia. The next thing is just a pass from the key ball of number 6 central defender. The front lateral dribble dangles over the blocked lower back and goes directly to the striker who ambushes him in the ribs. It can pierce the opponent's heart and cause Londrina's chaos. How can a garbage team like Londrina stabilize this situation? Hey! What the heck? Henry Mean stood up abruptly, and his pupils instantly shrank to the size of a needle's eye. Because he got up so quickly, he didn't even notice that he was on top of the canopy above the coach's dugout. Kalilho. Special. He couldn't care about the pain anymore, staring at the incredible scene on the court. Just now, when the number 6 central defender was ready to make a killing move, the Asian boy defending him actually changed direction abruptly and came to his flank. Dangerous. Sighed. Henry Milne had a keen premonition that something was wrong. Standing on tiptoe and roaring loudly, trying to get the attention of the number 6 central defender, this is obviously a useless effort. Not to mention the shouts of tens of thousands of people in the gymnasium, even if the number 6 central defender heard it. Chen Feng also has a way to deal with it. The situation on the pitch is changing rapidly, relying on the skills and adaptability on the spot. Henry Mean's voice just fell. I saw that the Asian boy had decisively made a flying shovel. Number 6 center back kicked the air. The ball was kicked firmly into the big gap behind the defender line. And black striker Georgie Tori is closest to that big gap, but in an instant, he was already sprinting with all his might. Smooth ball at your feet. Black brother. No offside. Chen Feng saw it clearly. The moment he tackled, Xiaohe did not cross the midline. The linesman naturally did not raise the flag, but quickly followed Xiaohe to run towards the bottom line. Hiss. Tens of thousands of fans on the stadium all held their breath and stared intently at the little black ball running wildly. The formation of the trident is completely opened. I saw that Xiaohe was as strong as a dragon. Gritting his teeth and dribbling laterally, he continuously shakes the defender, but in a matter of moments, he was already at the edge of the penalty area with the ball. Atletico Goiani's goalkeeper is a 35-year-old veteran, despite his experience, but in the face of Xiaohe's strong breakthrough, his heart was still panicked. After all, losing a goal will mean that the scales of victory will tip in Londrina. He could only take a deep breath, try to stay calm, then lower his center of gravity and abandon the door. Strikers face a one-knife opportunity, often a kick. After all, this is a great opportunity to prove themselves. But the opposing goalkeeper stared at the ball at Xiaohe's feet and put on a posture ready to catch the ball. It's clear that the pressure on the goalkeeper is too much. The situation on the battlefield changed rapidly, and Xiaohe simply got up and aimed at the lower corner of the goal to send a scrub. At this moment, tens of thousands of fans of Atletico Goiania looked nervous, thinking that the goal was about to fail. No, the shouts of the fans resounded throughout the stadium. In the next second, the goalkeeper aimed at the flying ball, predicted in advance and flew out, and actually blocked Xiaohe's single knife. Oops. Xiaohe really wants to burst into foul language. A punch slammed the back of his head, he was too impulsive. If you slow down and pass the ball to Chen Feng, maybe the ending will be rewritten. Xiaohe blamed himself. Atletico Goiania fans were also instantly smiling and preparing to cheer and celebrate, but in an instant, an even bigger crisis is coming. After the ball was saved by the goalkeeper, both teams jumped ahead at the same time. I thought that the tall Brazilian player would have an absolute advantage. Tens of thousands of Atletico Goiania fans are thinking that the crisis is about to be lifted. A blue-yellow figure jumped high and steadily pushed the ball out at a height half a head higher than the other players. What? The height of the jump is actually half a head higher? This is the devil, right? This is impossible. This Asian boy is only 175 centimeters tall at best, and several of our players are over 180 centimeters. Why can't they jump him? It's so evil. To hell with it, this is. In the stands, Atletico Goiania fans dropped their jaws one by one. Henry Mion was even dumbfounded, as if he had been hit hard, and the whole person was petrified. Next, something more evil appeared. Between electric flint, the ball is pushed out of the big gap behind the guard line. The blue-yellow figure once again rushed away at an unmatched speed, leaving his opponents behind in an instant. Several defenders of Atletico Goiania fought hard to chase, but they were always one position behind. Chen Feng. The fans of Londrina in the stands exploded at this moment, and one by one they all stood up, shouting madly, Chen. In a moment, Chen Feng successfully grabbed the landing point. Ding! Congratulations to the host for harvesting 5,000 sound wave value. The midfield shot must be scored. What? So you get 5,000 sound wave value? I'm right in midfield now, and I don't even use the penalty area. Facing the pursuit and interception of four central defenders of Atletico Goiania, Chen Feng was worried about how to take stock and approach the box. Unexpectedly, the system's prompt tone sounded, and I have to say that it is too reliable. Bang! Chen Feng used the power of the Overlord and kicked the ball violently. The ball is like a cannonball, like the signature shot of a young football player. Exactly the Tiger-style shot. Between the electric flint, a thunderous afterimage successfully crossed the four central defenders in a treacherous arc, but it shot straight at the goalkeeper. Chen, what is this doing? How did he shoot at the goalkeeper? He's sending the ball, he's cheating. What kind of wind does this Asian boy smoke? How can he shoot from such a long distance? Forget it, he actually shoots straight at the goalkeeper. It's over, the great goal opportunity is wasted. Chen is fully responsible for this ball. In the stands, the away fans roared one by one, claiming that Chen Feng was responsible for this goal. I didn't expect it in an instant. The moment the ball is caught by the opposing goalkeeper's hands, the ball is like a cannonball, unexpectedly straight to the goalkeeper with the ball and sent into the net. The score is 1-0. In an instant, the entire stadium was dead silent. Episode 27. Atletico Goiania fans couldn't believe their eyes. Obviously in his own home field, he has obviously occupied an absolute advantage, and it is clear that the other party is almost collapsed. It is clear that the opponent's single knife ball was saved by the goalkeeper. But the only Asian boy in the room slide blasted a long-range shot that exploded at the speed of the ball. But what is outrageous is that even someone was shot into the net with the ball. This has never happened in the entire history of football. Although there are many goalkeepers who save the ball into the net nest, but that's when the ball lands between the goalkeeper and the net. In order to stop the goal, the goalkeeper made a leap to grab the ball, but the ball was too fast. The goalkeeper also flew into the net. This is the first time in history that a goalkeeper like this has his back to the net and pounced, and the result is that even someone with the ball is shot into the net. Rumble. Londrina, who has always been considered to be weaker and has just been promoted, is 1-0, Atletico Goiania in the Baja Liga. After suppressing the away team's stance for more than 40 minutes, it finally broke out stronger than the home team. In? How did this goal come in? Can anyone tell me? Chen, no batch. It's hard to believe that last year Atletico Goiânia was just one step away from winning the Copa do Brasil. I thought it was a crushing game without any highlights, but I didn't expect it to be so exciting, but fortunately I came to the scene. God? What happened to that explosive shot just now, even someone dribbling the ball into the net? Can anyone tell me? It's terrible, Chen is simply a god. Chen, I found you. Come on, come on. The cheers of tens of thousands of people plunged the entire stadium into a huge hustle, and the entire stadium seemed to shake. Walter and the others hugged Chen Feng tightly excitedly. Chen, play well, it's great. Chen, nice job. Xiao He originally blamed himself for his mistake, but Chen Feng's explosive shot completely saved him. He didn't have to blame himself anymore, but rushed up excitedly and hugged his teammates tightly. Xiao He's eyes were already filled with tears of excitement. Atletico Goiânia head coach Henry Mean stood on the sidelines, bloodless. The lips were pursed so hard that they bleed, but he didn't have the idea of wiping at all. Not to mention that he hadn't figured out why the power of the other party's trident was so great. As if their tactics were already known in advance, act separately, aim for the most critical and weakest point of your tactics, and give a fatal blow. This alone reflects the tactical awareness, execution, and superb ball skills. Even the top teams in the Baja Liga may not be able to do it. And they are the team that has been in the second division for many years and just bucked the trend and was promoted last year. And what puzzled him was that Asian boy actually kicked an explosive shot at zero angle. Even the goalkeeper kicked the ball in? Henry Mean was a Serie A footballer himself when he was young, played in Europe for 10 years, including 10 years in Brazil after retiring. He had never seen such an operation. It's too evil. Hit the ghost this is. Bishop, I now seriously suspect that goalkeeper Sean is a traitor, and there is no other possibility except that he voluntarily chose to enter the net. The assistant coach came to Henry Mean and said solemnly, "Traitor?" The assistant coach's words reminded him if goalkeeper Sean jumped back in advance. This is likely to happen. Whether it's a traitor or not, replace goalkeeper Sean first. Thinking of this, the manager asked for a change of goalkeeper. In the face of the assistant coach's questioning, Sean's face turned dark and he shook his head madly. "No, I didn't mean to. I threw myself completely in the direction the ball was coming from. My body is already tilted, how can I jump back in the air? I'm not a traitor." Sean angrily defended himself, even though he had conceded a goal due to his own mistake. But he has tried his best, really, because the ball is as unstoppable as a missile. Seeing Sean do his best to defend himself doesn't look like a lie. Henry Mean quickly asked Sean to go to the lounge to rest, and then asked Sean to find a professional technical analyst to analyze. Because it is the most watched football match in Brazil, it is broadcast by major TV stations and media. Chen Feng's tiger-style shot quickly exploded the major news media, causing a huge sensation. Once became a hot search on the whole network. In the second game of the Copa Brazil, Asian boy played a tricky shot, and the goalkeeper dribbled the ball into the net. Outrageous. The second game of the Copa do Brasil is now a tricky shot. Copa Brazil best shot? The goalkeeper was shot into the net. It's an epic wonder. Asian boy Chen plays the Brazil Cup and sensationalizes the football world. It's so unscientific, the first tricky shot in the Brazilian Cup, against the laws of physics. Many football experts in Brazil began to study and analyze Chen Feng's shot. In the face of even someone dribbling the ball into the net, Chen Feng was still in a daze. He just wanted to test how powerful the power of the Overlord really was, but he didn't expect it to be so strong. In the future, he really can't use it indiscriminately. After all, it is too contrary to the laws of physics, and he is afraid of being censored by cheating. Too lazy to waste time and energy coping. After conceding a goal, Atletico Goiânia suffered a great humiliation. It immediately became crazy and radical. And Londrina, on the other hand, is becoming more and more calm and confident. Atletico Goiânia worked hard to score a goal to equalize. I saw the opposing team's veteran striker Anamita, crazy frontal lateral dribbling, dangling past the defense of several central defenders. Seeing this, Chen Feng made a gesture to make his teammates turn into a 6-4-0 formation. All defend. Everyone cowered in a 30-meter zone. This is the most classic defensive formation. Like an iron barrel, even the top giants do not have many methods. The first half was coming to an end soon, and Chen Feng decided to extend the advantage until the end. As the minutes passed, the players of Atletico Goiânia panicked. Originally, they were a little angry and corrupted. The first half was almost over. At the last minute, striker Anamita chooses to try his luck with a wave shot. Chen Feng, on the other hand, fought hard to block all passes and shots. 44 minutes, the score remained 0-1. 45 minutes, still 0-1. Anamita kicked a wave and the ball was headed over by a header from Walter. The first half is over. The referee blew the final whistle. Anamita's angry punch slammed into the green grass. Episode 28. The second half of the game is about to begin, and Atletico Goiânia has readjusted, replaced them with two strong center-backs. Head coach Henry Mion also spoke, "Win the game anyway. You can't lose. After all, they are a Baja Liga, and they were just one step away from winning the Copa Brazil last year. Now if you lose to a team that has just been promoted to the first division, you will be discredited and scolded in an instant." Henry Mion also singled out the three center-backs. "Your task is to guard this Asian boy to the death, and you can't let him get the ball no matter what. Non-essential is the moment, you can use illegal means. If something happens, I'll bear it. Even if you eat a red card, you have to cripple this kid for me." It seems that Henry Milne is open-minded. If these words are clearly illegal, if they are known by outsiders, the entire club will be severely punished. But these three center-backs are henchmen of Henry Mine and will definitely keep it a secret. The three central defenders are like dead men. The first round of the Copa del Pau Brazil has just begun. Originally, Londrina's match against Atletico Goiânia was a game without suspense. Almost everyone thinks it's a game that doesn't get anything to watch. Even the spinach plate was once very outrageous, and Londrina's odds actually reached an astonishing 10-1. Just bet on them to win, and it's a 10x return. In this case, only a fool would go and bet on Londrina to win. Various football experts on the internet analyze the strength of the two teams. Although Chen Feng has already made his mark in the Baja League, he is a newcomer and an Asian boy after all. The strength of the Baja Liga is far better than that of the Baja B, and Atletico Goiânia is also a powerhouse of the Baja Liga. All in all, the odds of Londrina's victory are very slim. However, in the first half, Londrina scored a goal, completely panicked the fans who bet on Atletico Goiânia win. At the same time, Chen Feng quickly became on the popularity list. In this way, most of the football world has set its sights on this game. Copa Libertadores, in the lounge of Santos FC. The three Santos players were staring intently at Londrina's match against Atletico Goiânia. Every now and then, there are screams and doubts. "Have you heard of this Asian boy named Chen Feng? Is it a newcomer? I haven't heard of it." Londrina was a team in the second division before, and he was just promoted to the first division last year. What's going on? I lean on. This tackle is too exquisite, the timing is very good, the angle is exquisite, this ball skill can be said to be first class. How come a player of this level has never heard of it? Evil door, God? What the hell is this? I'm not dreaming, am I? George Utula's shot was saved by the goalkeeper. I thought it was a dead ball, but I didn't expect this Asian boy to head it out. The height of his jump, fantastic. It's outrageous. What? He chose to shoot? That's zero angle. How did he come up with it? Groove. This all went in, even someone with the ball? The ball drove the goalkeeper into the net? The horses, who were originally resting in the lounge, listened to the noisy voices of several teammates outside the house, get up angrily and open the door. Can you be quieter? Still let people not sleep? A group of people who have never seen the world, fuss, horse, quick, come to the race, absolutely blind your eyes. The horse looked disdainful, and the 19-year-old horse had already made a sensation in football at this time and became a hot star in Brazil. Last year, Ma scored 42 goals for the club and was named the top scorer in the 2010 Brazilian Primeira Divisão. In the same year, he helped Santos win the Copa de Bolsão de Brazil. Due to the timing conflict between the Copa de Liberação and the Copa Libertadores, Santos decided to participate in the Copa Libertadores this year and is the favorite to win the Copa Libertadores. It's the Copa Brazil, right? Which two teams compete? The horse yawned, and his energy and attention were all focused on the Copa Libertadores, so he was completely oblivious to this year's Copa Brazil. Londrina versus Atletico Goiânia. The teammate said, "Londrina? A team that is just a second division team will lose. I don't know what you guys have to fuss about here." The horse was full of disdain, turned around and went to sleep. "You don't know yet, do you? Last year, Londrina was promoted to the first division and won the second division, is it? I remember that Londrina's strength is mediocre, even in the second division. He has been hovering in the middle of the table. There is an old saying in the Dragon Kingdom, Shibetsu should be impressed in 3 days. It's not what it used to be, yes? The horses are still a little unconvinced, and if Atletico Goiânia works miracles, it is still possible. After all, it is a traditional powerhouse of the Baja Liga, and its strength is also good, and the matches between Santos and Atletico Goiânia were very anxious. Ma Air glanced at the TV, just playing back the wonderful moment of Chen Feng's tiger-style shot. In an instant, the horse was so surprised that his eyes almost fell out. What? Even someone dribbled into the goal? This can't be, absolutely impossible. The horse immediately came to the computer and carefully watched the entire first half of the race. At one point, he was so surprised that his jaw fell to the ground, and his last palm slammed on the table, and his teammate's cup that had just been filled with hot water was shattered to the ground. What the hell? The internet is full of reports about Londrina, analyzed by various football experts. This cannot be fake. When his teammates saw that the horse changed so quickly, they laughed at him one by one. Now you know? I just looked disdainful. We are also analyzing, if that tackle is a stunt, then this shot is a heavenly god. It stands to reason that this can't happen in reality, but the strange thing is that it really happened, or an Asian boy kicked it out. The Dragon Kingdom has this kind of talent? How come I've never heard of it? Ma's heart turned over at this moment, and he immediately called, "Picard, I want all the information," called Chen Feng, "hurry." Afterwards, the horse also sat in front of the TV in a serious manner, waiting intently for the next race, because the second half is about to start. At the same time, Santo's other teammates also rushed to the living room and sat on the TV to watch the next game. Episode 29. The referee blew the second half of the game. The shouts of tens of thousands of fans in the stadium stands also rose and fell at this time. Londrina kicked off and the formation dispersed, with veteran Walter getting the ball. Atletico Goiania's three central defenders kept a close eye on Chen Feng. Wherever Chen Feng ran, the three central defenders followed, like a human wall, straddling Chen Feng. Several times, he suddenly took off and ran towards the big gap, but he was firmly caught up by the other party, and Chen Feng was too lazy to run. "Mar, how can I see that this Chen Feng's running posture is very similar to you?" "Yes, when I watched the first half of the game, I felt the same way. This Asian boy is playing Samba football." "Where did he learn his Samba skills as an Asian boy?" Several teammates questioned, and then looked sideways at Neymar. I have to say that the horse has long been aware of it, and at this moment, he is panicked. He grew up playing street soccer, and he knows the true meaning of Samba football and plays a lot of tricks. Due to last year's dazzling performance, Brazilian football circles have begun to refer to him as the final dancer of Samba football, because at that time, the strength of the football elf Xiao Luo began to gradually decline. There are even rumors of leaving Europe and returning to the Baja this year. Ma only took a cursory look at Chen Feng's first half of the game, but it was determined that Chen Feng was playing Samba football. Judging from the technique and footwork, Ma felt that Chen Feng was not under him. Such a person is obviously a huge threat to himself. Keep watching the game, don't guess what you have. The horses struggled to remain calm. Xiao He saw that Chen Feng was surrounded by people, and simply shoved it straight to Walter, who was on the sideline. Walter is very fast. Plug in at high speed to throw off the defenders, and shoot directly without stopping the ball. The players of Atletico Goiania looked at it, this so that it volleys? Originally, they thought that Walter would link up with Xiao He and then find a way to pass the ball to Chen Feng. After all, this is the formation of Londrina's trident. Unexpectedly, Walter actually kicked a volley directly, and he didn't treat them as people. Fortunately, Atletico Goiania's goalkeeper is in good position and reacts quickly. Use your body to block this ball out of the line. This offensive came too quickly. Walter's impact is also very terrifying. Although he is a veteran, the foundation is still there. Walter himself is close to 180 centimeters tall and has a strong body, which is so much worse in speed. After this period of cooperation training with Chen Feng, there has also been a big improvement in all aspects. What's more, the self-confidence is stronger, and this one-handed shot is the best proof of this. Atletico Goiania's corner kick is issued. Anamita jumped high and grabbed the landing point, one to the top. Bell. The ball slammed into Londrina's goal crossbar and popped off the line. Londrina escaped. One by one, the away fans finally breathed a sigh of relief. In the first 30 minutes, Atletico Goiania attacked one wave after another. The attack like Mercury was basically pressing Londrina. In the 35th minute, Atletico Goiania created a machine gun trifecta. It hit the right post and then the left post, and finally the header was blocked by the goalkeeper. The wonderful excitement of the scene made people hold their breath and sigh. It has to be said that Londrina's defense is too subtle. Chen Feng is also very satisfied with this, and before preparing for the Brazil Cup, they specially trained defensive tactics for a long time. After all, Londrina's team has very clear strengths and weaknesses. The strength of the entire team is almost carried by Chen Feng, and it can be easily resolved in the face of weak teams. But if you are facing a strong team, it is difficult for him to handle it alone. After all, Londrina was carried into the Bagia by Chen Feng alone. On the contrary, Atletico Goiania players are more balanced in technique, and every point is an offensive point. Now the opposing head coach Henry Mean has made a killing move, and several defenders have strictly guarded Chen Feng and trapped him. The strength of the entire team dropped a notch in an instant. However, Chen Feng also had a way to deal with it for a long time, and from the beginning of the second half, he moved around the field in a wide area. Although he did not run into a big gap, several of his central defenders began to show fatigue. The horse first saw the clue. "I'm starting to get tired, and the turnaround is coming." He stared at Chen Feng from the beginning of the second half, thinking that his physical strength and ability to run without the ball were already at the top of the Baja Liga. Unexpectedly, after seeing Chen Feng, the horse had to bow down. "Yes, I can also see that this Asian boy's tactics are too mean. He actually wanted to use a wide range of port runs to get rid of a few central defenders. It's incredible. Why does he think he has such physical strength? Yes, he is a weak Asian boy. He is only 175 centimeters tall. He doesn't look strong at all. Unbelievable." Seeing this, Chen Feng had reached the time to break through, and suddenly ran rapidly, successfully received a direct pass from the central defender, turned around and launched a counterattack, and a dragon killed the opponent's penalty area. The few central defenders defending him were clearly weak and couldn't keep up with his running speed. Not good. Opposing striker Anamita then realized something was wrong, hurriedly ran over with two midfielders defending Walter to intercept Chen Feng. There was a big gap next to Walter, jumped up and raised his hand to demand. But Chen Feng did not plan to pass the ball, because there was not much time left in the game, and the chance of scoring a goal to Walter was not great. He doesn't want to gamble. He must show super personal strength. In the face of the encirclement and blockage of Anamita and others, a GIF phantom suddenly appeared in Chen Feng's mind. It's the rainbow. Since Chen Feng came to the away stadium and gained 500 dream points, he added all of them to the Samba skill column. Samba skills, 3,000/10,000, nearly 1/3, his mastery of Samba skills is more proficient. I saw Chen Feng running at high speed, suddenly clamped the ball with both feet, and jumped high. In an instant, he threw the ball into the air from behind again and fell in front of him. Shake off the encirclement and blockade of Anamita and others from overhead. Compared to when he was at Laundria Club before, Chen Feng obviously felt that he was more fluid now. The whole action is done in one go. As soon as this action came out, the entire stadium was instantly exploded. The screams of the fans made the whole stadium tremble. What? What do I see? Is it a rainbow just now? Who has ever seen such a gorgeous, soul-destroying rainbow? Wow, this is not a serious game, this is freestyle football, right? Haha, Anamita and several other defenders were completely stunned. The speed was too fast, but the whole set of actions was completed in an instant, and they didn't give them time to react at all. My god, it's so disturbing, my heart is about to jump out. Is Chen Feng Asian or Brazilian? Isn't the Samba football a patent of our Brazilians? Yes, I seriously doubt that Chen Feng has Brazilian genes in his body, otherwise how could he be so supernatural? Chen Feng already has the shadow of Xiao Luo at his peak. It's a pity that Xiao Luo's level has plummeted. Isn't it rumored that Mar is Xiao Luo's successor? Will Chen Feng be the next horse? What to say, as far as I feel, Chen Feng is stronger than the horse. It's so handsome, I can't carry it, I'm bleeding from my nose. Episode 30. In the lounge of Santos Football Club, the whole lounge was as silent as death. One by one, the teammates' pupils shrank and stared at the TV in disbelief. The horse was as if hit by high-voltage electricity, and the whole person was petrified. At this moment, all words could not describe the shock in his heart. Just now, that Asian boy actually used such a gorgeous and soul-destroying rainbow on the court. You must know that this is a skill that horses have painstakingly studied and trained for a long time. He felt that he had not yet practiced to the end, so he had been using it in the club's confrontation matches, never used it in the arena. Even in last year's Baja Liga and Brazil Cup, the horses resisted the urge to show off. Unexpectedly, it is actually used by an Asian boy first. What's even more terrifying is that the rainbow that Chen Feng made is extraordinary, not only covering all the details of the stunts he painstakingly researched and sublimated so masterfully. And this sublimation is exactly the point that he can't think of in his thoughts. This? What the hell is going on here? Could it be that Chen Feng stole his stunt? And then adjust and sublimate on his basis? Something is not right. Chen Feng has never come to their club, how did he steal it? I thought that this year in the Coupe Libertadores, show off the rainbow stunt. Unexpectedly, he was actually given a quick ride by Chen Feng. Whether it is scientific research or football stunts, the initiator is the immortal, and the follower is the follower. Now Chen Feng's approach has undoubtedly sentenced Ma Er to death. He painstakingly studied for many years, and the stunt that took a lot of energy and time was stillborn. At this moment, the horse is in great pain. Meanwhile, Londrina and Atlético Goiânia continue the rest of their matches. Atlético Goiânia's players are already exhausted, and with a collapsed mentality, they are no longer able to attack, even more defenseless. Chen Feng continuously dribbled horizontally in front of him, shaking away the defenders one after another. The front of Atlético Goiânia has all collapsed, and it is not a system. Chen Feng, Xiao He, and Walter Trident plunged straight into the hinterland, although the goalkeeper of Atlético Goiânia did everything in his power to save, despite leg cramps and pain. But it still can't save the decline. Xiao He and Walter each assisted, helping Chen Feng score 3 goals in a row. After 90 minutes, the score was finally frozen at 5-0. The fans of Londrina couldn't believe it, they put their arms around each other's shoulders, sang and danced, and cheered for the team in unison. Alice and Sarana were also in the crowd, they hugged each other tightly to celebrate this exciting moment. 5-0, with more than 2 away goals, Londrina directly advanced to the next round, which is the round of 16. The Copa Brazil was once again upset. Londrina, who had just been promoted to the first division, defeated the Baja powerhouse Atlético Goiânia. Not only did they win, but they also scored 5-0. Chen Feng, this yellow-skinned Asian boy, left a deep impression on all the audience present. Brazilian football has officially entered the era of Chen Feng. No. Not the age of horses, it's Chen Feng's era. Londrina's trident combination shines throughout the Copa Brazil, but what is more memorable is Chen Feng. The Asian boy used an incredible shot in the first half to get the ball into the net, help Londrina get a goal. In the second half, Atlético Goiânia made a killer move, using several strong central defenders to try to trap Chen Feng. Just when everyone thought that Londrina was in a desperate situation, Chen Feng once again refreshed the public's cognition. He actually ran a wide range of high frequency throughout the field, exhausting several central defenders who were staring at him. This physical strength. What a god-man. Just when several central defenders were exhausted, Chen Feng launched a desperate counterattack. With the undisputed and high-profile Samba skill, Rainbow passed past the pursuit and interception of Anamita and others, and scored smoothly. Chen Feng at this moment seems to be completely integrated with football. The whole stadium went crazy. In the stands, a man wearing a black cape and black glasses holds a DV camera. The whole process was carefully documented. He watched the wonderful playback on the DV and couldn't help but smack his lips. This Asian boy is an extraordinary person, and in time, he can definitely shine in Europe. This time I came to Brazil, I really didn't come for nothing. Wait until I go back and analyze it carefully, and then make a decision. The man hurried off the pitch with the DV. Spinach plate. Londrina's die-hard fans were completely crazy, and they held loudly one by one. Although most fans bet not much money, the tenfold return is not a lot. A farmer named Shedrin, who is a die-hard fan of Londrina, also a big fan of Walter. In recent years, every time Londrina has a match, he bets. It's just that he lost a lot, and Shedrin also lost a lot of money. Last year, Londrina miraculously won the second division championship, but Shedrin was so happy that he hadn't slept well for days. Now in the first match of the Londrina Copa Basilia, as a loyal fan, Shedrin waved his hand. 10,000 euros were directly bet. Even if he loses, even if he supports Londrina, Shedrin initially held this mentality of losing and losing. I didn't expect to win, and it was a big score to win the game. With a tenfold return, Shedrin won 100,000 euros, and all the previous losses were won back. At the same time, the fans of Atlético Goiânia were so angry that they almost vomited blood. The game that must have been thought to be in control was actually a big hit. And Chen Feng's name has completely attracted the attention of the mainstream media and the team. God, who the hell is this Chen Feng? Kicking 5 goals in one game? Is this still human? I didn't expect it at all. Atlético Goiânia was actually eliminated, or home, or the big score was 5-0. Yes, this is a devastating disaster for Athletic Goiânia. It is estimated that it will be sprayed to death, and it will be completely destroyed. You don't know how perverted that Asian boy is in the arena. I suggest you take a closer look at the replay. It will definitely blow up your eyeballs. This is definitely the biggest attraction of this Brazil Cup. Let's seize the time and leave a big page out. As soon as this game ended, all the big teams in the Baja Liga began to pay attention to Chen Feng. But after getting the information, I was unanimous and surprisingly found. Chen Feng was born in Brazil, but after the age of 6, he went to study in Longwa, and at the age of 17, he followed the Longwa U18 team to Londrina Club Youth Training. Then he signed Londrina. That's it? Gone? The other information is nothing more than Chen Feng's father and mother. That is to say, Chen Feng has never participated in any youth training in Dragon Country, and he is not an official football player at all. At most he is an amateur football enthusiast. In that case, where did Chen Feng's Samba skills come from? And how did you master it so well? Everyone knows that Dragon Kingdom is a football depression. In that environment, how could Chen Feng practice such skills? All the big teams in the Baja Liga have question marks on their heads. There are no answers to these questions, and certainly no answers. It can only be explained by bizarreness.